Hey, I'm gonna show you exactly how I am spending $3,500 per day in social media ads right now, and I'm getting anywhere from a 5 to 6x return on that ad spend. I'm gonna show you exactly how we do the creative and how we do this profitably and how I've been doing this for the last 10 years. My name is Taylor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm documenting these videos to share what I'm doing in business right now. And also I want to document this stuff for my kids so that when they do business, they can hopefully learn some cool crap too. All right, let's get into the video. So spending $3,500 a day profitably. Let me go through some of the numbers. So this is a new business. I just started with partners in January. So we're about 5 months in. We've spent $250K, and I think we're just right now somewhere shy of 2 million in revenue. Okay, so this is the numbers where we're at. Now, how are we doing this? So with Facebook, Instagram, social media ads for the most part, and just to be clear, we are not currently running on YouTube or TikTok or LinkedIn. We are just on Meta, so we're on Facebook and Instagram right now. I'm gonna explain exactly how we're doing this profitably, and credit where credit's due. There's an amazing formula that Alex Hormozi does, and it's probably the most meaningful formula that I've ever used, which is LTV to CAC ratio. LTV is lifetime value, which is really gross profit. So meaning we're a service-based business. Our costs, our gross margin is right around 90%, okay? So that means if our average customer is paying us, let's call it 11K, that's supposed to be a K, by the way, and we're 90% gross margin, so 10% of that is cost of service, which is 1,000. So we're netting 10K, and if our acquisition cost right now is 2K, then our LTV to CAC would be 5 to 1, as an example. This is the main thing you need to know how to profitably spend in advertising on a daily basis, okay? Because this is equivalent, we're spending like $70,000 a month in advertising, something like that. So you need to know your LTV to CAC ratio to know how much you can spend or should be spending. And then obviously right now what we're focused on, because there's something called CPMs with paid advertising, which is your cost per 1,000 impressions. It's kind of like it's a marker of how expensive the marketplace of buying media is at a given time. And CPMs have consistently gone up, which just means the competition in the marketplace of social media ads continues to climb because more and more people are starting to do it, more and more businesses are doing it, which means more competition, more cost of eyeballs. So that means the customer acquisition cost is always going up, okay? And I've seen this. I used to get leads for 50 cents back in 2013. Now leads might be $5 to $25, right? Depending on how qualified that lead is. So that's always gonna go up. So what are we focused on then as a company to make sure we can continue to stay profitable is on LTV. Now this video is not gonna be on LTV for us. I can talk about that in a different video. What I wanna talk about is how are we doing the creative? How do we actually make the ads that allow this to be this profitable? But I needed to explain, we have a 10,000 lifetime value product on the back end. And so, yeah, this is how much it's costing us to get a customer at the moment. Sometimes this fluctuates, sometimes it's 1,000, sometimes 1,500, right now it's 2K. So what does that mean? Well, we need to reverse engineer numbers here, because what we do is we have an ad, okay, that goes to a landing page opt-in, which goes to a VSL booking page, which goes to sales call. This is like our funnel. Pretty freaking sophisticated, huh? Not really. So this is our funnel. So then some of the metrics that we're looking at is the conversion percentage on this page. And then from the ad level, we've got different things like click-through rate, CPM, and the cost per click. This compared to the opt-in percentage, so like for every, if this converts at 50%, that means 2 clicks, 1 opt-in, right? So which then gets you your cost per lead. And then what's your throughput of leads to calls, right? And that's what we would call lead efficiency, right? And so right now as a team, our lead efficiency is 12%, right? Which means, if our cost per lead is $10 and I divide that by 12%, this will give me, and praise the Lord for math, 10 times, so what is that, 120? I certainly hope that's 120. But then that would be, what's your cost to get a call booked? Because how many of these do you push down to the call? So then you got your cost per call. And then what's your closing per call? If you include show rate and closing rate, let's say that your overall closing is 20%. So that means it takes 5 of these. So that would be $600 would be your customer acquisition cost before commissions, tech, platforms, etc. So how do we do this part at the top for us to profitably spend this much? It takes quite a bit of creative to do $3,500 a day. What do I mean by creative? I mean the actual video or image that is the media that you are paying for eyeballs to see. So what do? We primarily have found for us at the moment with this offer, video is working best. Targeting, which would be like telling Facebook or Instagram, who do I want you to serve this ad to? Doesn't work anymore. You used to be able to do this where it could be like, people who are interested in X, Y, and Z, this age and this geographic area. Now you can still do those things, but after spending millions of dollars in advertising and, even talking to people who are spending more than us, targeting, that crap doesn't matter anymore. The creative is what does the targeting. And so inside the creative, so the video, we've got a few things. We've got the hook, which is what grabs that first 5 seconds or 2 seconds of the person. So if I'm scrolling and the video starts playing, hey, real estate investors in the Milwaukee area, that would be a hook. It's an identifier calling a person out. Or a different hook could be like, are you a real estate investor in Milwaukee wanting to do more deals? It's a different version of that hook, right? Or, hey, are you a female real estate investor looking to do flips? That's a different type of hook, right? So you've got your hook, then you've got what I call the meat, which is like, what's the message? How do you do problem awareness, right? How do you create trust? How do you create authority, right? So, hey, this is Taylor, I've done, this many deals, I've done, sales for this long, blah, 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 blah. You might be like me, right? And so there's like the message, the meat of the actual message. Then you've got your call to action. If you feel like that would help, click the link below and you get a free course. Hey, if you feel like that'll help, click the link below, you get a free download. So there's 2 different versions of a CTA. Hey, if you like that, comment, money. If you want to make more money in this, that's a different CTA, right? So you've got the hook, the meat, the CTA, and then there's something that I'm just calling the environment. The environment is the look and feel of the ad. So think about this, and I'm also now pulling data from other entrepreneurs and people who are running ads as well, but this is what I've noticed in our ads. If you have let's say a white male with a beard who's muscular, he's going to attract a certain type of person who gravitates to that type of person. Versus if you have a black female, that gravitates black females. If you have a white, short Asian guy, then it's going to attract more of that type of person. So you've got the person, you've got the clothing, literally. Sometimes we'll notice that we get different types of people with blue shirts than red shirts, straight up. And then also think about this. what if you're riding a bike or sitting in a fire or a fireplace, like fireside chat, or sipping a cocktail? Basically, you can play into the image that prospects would have in their mind of this is what I want, right? And so like if we're doing, well, I own a company that helps real estate investors scale. And so our customer is a real estate investor. And so some real estate investors care about time with their family. So if we have an ad creative where the environment is a guy sitting with his family on the couch saying the hook, meet, and CTA, that's gonna attract a different client or a different prospect than if he does the same hook, meet, CTA riding a bike, because maybe some investors want to have time freedom to start a new hobby like bike riding. And so what we do to make sure we get enough creative to run $70,000, $75,000, $100,000 a month in advertising is we set up, let's call it 3 different hooks we want to test with 2 different meet variations, 2 different CTA variations in 3 different environments. So what happens is 3 times 2, right, is 6, times 2 is 12, times 3 would be 36. This gives me 36 variations, different creatives of video. But then post-production, I can do 2 edit types and the post-production, which doubles this number. So now I've got 72 videos, different video creatives, testing all this. And what we do is we go 80% on the control. So like this is what's driving most of our calls right now. And then we do a 20% test budget on these other creative types. So this is how we are doing ad creative currently that allows us to spend, $3,500 is not a whole lot. Like as we continue to scale, once we start doing 10, 15, 20K a day, that will be more considerable, I think. But this is how we put out enough creative to get enough versions of the market out there, because this will speak to different versions of the market. Since we can't actually target, we gotta let the video creative target the right type of lead and the right type of prospect we're looking to get on the phone. And then as long as our LTV is always bigger than the CAC, we can keep spending and spending away. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give me a like, subscribe. If you hated it, tell me why you hated it, and I'll make different videos. Peace.